it's Kulve Taroth!
Ah, you again?
No, it's okay, I'm sorry. We're sorry. We're really sorry. We regret breaking your horns.
Well, if that's true, then I guess I could forgive you, and maybe we could start again.
Yeah, we'll start again completely fresh. Do everything differently this time, I promise.
Oh, well, I'm very happy to hear that.
Yeah, we're gonna kill you this time.
What?
Hello, my fellow hunters, with Kulve Taroth Master Rank Edition on the horizon. Well, I thought it would be time to have a proper good discussion around it, because there is a lot of proper good discussion to have around it. So, of course, you know, point one, we actually get to finish the fight now. We get to kill her. That is exciting. That is a whole new world of Kulve. No siege, just 4 hunters doing what they do best, which is making living things not that. And really, I mean, point one here, we get the answer to a question that has burned curious within me for the last, well, since she arrived, and I'm sure it has with you too. What does her death animation look like? Because I just a little, but it is actually quite interesting to me that she is one of the few monsters ever that we have no idea what it looks like when she hits the deck. And, you know, that's a mystery I think the hunters are going to be very quick on solving. But look, actually fighting her properly like an air quotes normal monster to the bitter end is very exciting. And the reason is exciting, at least to me, well, the chief reason is that we start in Area 2, which means, of course, that we're not doing the slow dragging herself round the caverns of El Dorado. The start of the siege entails. And, you know, this makes sense from a logistics, mechanical point, because obviously if we're gonna, well, kill her, we're not just gonna be freely beating on her until she decides to actually start the fight herself. It wouldn't be very climactic or, well, entertaining without the siege mechanics attached. But if we want to delve into a little bit of the likely ecology here, if we're starting in Area 2, it means we're starting immediately fighting, which means Kulve is attacking us. And we know that Kulve isn't exactly the most aggressive sort. She spends most of her time walking around like,
La la la, I love cold. Rocks randomly fell on my head. I guess I'll get up in a moment and keep walking around like nothing happened.
She's not exactly quick to anger, let's put it that way. So if we're going to immediately start fighting, well, that means she's not ignoring the hunters, that means she's going for us immediately, which to me implies that she remembers. Ergo, it is indeed the Kulve from before, and yes, this might be an unintended side effect of them just making the fight start normally. They might not have thought about what that implies, well, ecology-wise, but to me, Capcom aren't necessarily that sloppy. They put a lot of detail into the nature of the monsters. So, I very much hope, very much have a little bit of, I think this might happen, that we get a Kulve that has already had horns pre-broken. We have a shattered Kulve Taroth in this fight, and with that would imply she's a variant. We made her into one by her encounter with us the hunters, and now she's pissed, she's more powerful, and she has her master rank moves that she has developed because she's been put through the wars. It would be a nice full circle to the whole, well, Kulve Taroth siege, and I really, really want that to happen. It would be too cool. If I load into that hunt and she is missing her horns, I am gonna have such a moment and then wonder why I ever felt the need to make that noise, and then secondly, why I felt the need to share that noise making from me with, well, the internet. So, what will we get on her back? Will it be gold, or will it be the platinum-y more look from the Arch-Tempered? That's another question to answer. I can only assume it's the more regular gold, because, you know, the Arch-Tempered was just a thing they did to tide us over, but with Kulve, that just became the default Kulve. You couldn't find non-Arch-Tempered Kulve, so we might actually still get a little bit of a platinum twist. Of course, not to mention, she will come undoubtedly with Master Rank Kulve Taroth armor, and unless they be weirdly lazy and don't change the look of it, which I would be very, very disappointed and surprised if they went that route, we're gonna get some absolutely resplendent armor. Like, we are going to be shining in golden glory, and well, we know how impactful her equipment was back in day, which means this time around we might be getting a meta shake-up quicker than we expected. Then again, it's going to have to be something insane to replace 2-piece Raging and 3-piece Teostra for us raw types, so I'm not holding my breath, because if I was, I couldn't talk and finish this video.
That's hilarious.
So, on top of it being likely a very fun armor set to play around with, and one thing I do very much want to see is them use this as an opportunity to give Kulve Taroth armor a very unique, interesting set bonus. Play around with that gold, that riches theme. Even if you just put in something flavorful, like you earn all of the Zenny while hunting in that armor, it would be a nice, just, well, farming option if you're somehow low on Zenny. I realize that's not the most useful thing, but you know, give her that little bit of a quirk, give her something unique, a set bonus that very much is wholly, well, hers. You could actually play with the mantle melting and have the armor vary between incredibly impenetrable defense or a little bit more offensive but a lot softer and you're a lot squishier. Maybe it hardens and softens as you flow through the hunt, like the gold on her back. There's a lot of options there, and all of them would be a lot of fun to experience. I just want something, well, cool, because, you know, I love gold. Now, this is going to be a little bit out there, but we have Kulve Taroth in the cavern. She uses the zones fairly well. I'm hoping for a slew of new moves. I want to see that burning happen. I would love for them to add a sneaky, unexpected new zone where she goes to rest. Maybe she actually does go to sleep. I don't know. It's close enough to an actual map for her to do that. Maybe it doesn't need to just be a constant event fight. Maybe it can feel more like a normal hunt, but I feel like an extra zone on the caverns of El Dorado is optimistic. But then again, so is this. I have said this before, but I really want the caverns of El Dorado to be used as an actual normal zone. Now, some of the areas don't work that well for other monsters. The first one definitely designed for Kulve, but the space is there. And just to add a little bit of variety, they could add some really unique stuff to the caverns. I did a whole video about golden monsters, a set of golden variants that have gone there and come dripping in gold. And you need only look at the endemic life. The helm crabs are goldenified, the Gadulak are goldenified, the scale bats goldenified. So what happens when another monster goes into the caverns? Goldified! And while I don't agree with this idea, this is Cotton's.
You're walking around these caverns, and sure, yeah, they're gold, but they're also dark and unexplored and creepy. So you look up and bam! Hanging from the ceiling, shiny as a newborn baby's head, but as wrinkly as the elderly, a golden Kezu hanging from above. You could make his hide stronger, you could even make him fire and molten gold based like Kulve Taroth instead of thunder based, as he's now conductive. And most importantly, we already have the quest name, Gold Member. Get it? Because he looks like it.
But that aside, if we are now just going up to the normal quest board, posting a quest on the caverns for Kulve, normal 4-man hunt, why not perhaps in the future whack something else on there and let us use it as a normal zone too? Please, it's such a lovely place, it's gorgeous, it's so well designed, it's an incredible, resplendent cave full of wonder and treasure, and I want to kill more things in there! Is that so much to ask? I feel like it's such a waste to just be for one monster. Yes, we've always had zones that are just for one monster, but they've never been, well, a collection of zones, so expansive and detailed and flowing with life in a kind of ecosystem that we've never seen anywhere, not even close. So please put more stuff in it. Then we move on, of course, to her weaponry. And this is something that I'm very excited about, because this is where I think the proper potential is, the proper way to start shaking up a meta, at least for you elemental types. See, they said when they announced that Master Rank Kulve was coming that her weapons will of course slowly scale up to Master Rank stats. We don't craft new ones, we pour her materials into them and they slowly evolve and get better, you know, more raw, more sharpness, however they do it, more slots, however they end up. Looking at just a pure raw comparison, even back in high rank, they weren't really competitive on that front, so I doubt they will be again unless there's some weird power creep. We might get some unique models on them. I'd be surprised if they keep the exact same models, at least evolve through the basic iron scythe look of, well, master rank, at least for greatsword, and a golden one of them would be incredible, but I have to imagine they'd change up a little bit. Oh, well, we do have the new layered weapon system, which would apply to them because they're just basic weapons, although we are getting full layered everything weapons soon, but I digress. I think there is a lot of potential to get some proper first time unique Kulve Taroth weapons as they slowly become rare 10, rare 11, rare 12. But the main thing I want to get at here is, outside of their raw potential, which will be, I'd imagine, is the status and element, because Kulve Taroth weapons, at least arch-tempered ones, and I see no reason we can't upgrade those too, which might actually imply that she will be the more platinum Kulve, but they had crit status on the actual weapon, or crit element. And when they announced Master Rank Kulve, they said that the abilities on the weapon would get stronger too, not just the stats. They mentioned them separately. So to me, that implies that if we have a Kulve Taroth weapon with critical status on, once you get it to Master Rank level, it's going to have true critical status on, which means there is the potential there, if the element is enough, if the weapon is good enough, to free everyone from 4-piece silver Rathalos, and to actually enable some critical status sets, because, well, 2-piece Artian is awful, and 4-piece Gold Rathian really is limiting. So we might actually enter a whole new world! A whole new world of explosions and paralysis, of fire and water, of ice and thunder. You know what I'm saying. Basically, I think we might end up with Kulve Taroth being the weapons for element because they let you use so much stronger armor because they don't force you to get the crit status / crit element that we've been having to have so far. So that's something I am very, very excited for. So while though we know we're getting no fanfare with this, no story, it's just popping up as an event later this month, there is a lot to look forward to it from, and while she's not a new monster, there is going to be a lot to explore as if she was, and that's very exciting. Of course, on top of hopefully her fight being actually revamped, magnificent, and tailored for an actual normal hunt. So, what do you think, guys? What are you looking forward to? Let me know your thoughts on all of this. Like you've enjoyed it, subscribe for more, and I will see you soon in the caverns of El Dorado. I really do love saying that.
Rage Gaming with the video float.
But that's all that's really relevant at the mo, but I'm still gonna leave this up so you patrons know that I love you even though the outro's no longer that kind of relevant. But the new one's being worked on and it's gonna be a truly badass song, and don't worry, I won't be doing any rapping on it. I'm gonna go now. This was shit.